Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I have asked you to do these 4 problems. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over these 4 problems. Then I'm going to post it on the TubeReview, and it's going to be titled Multiplication is Easy Part 2. Now I've also already said, lo siento. I've already said, if you can multiply 1 digit by 1 digit, then the rest of the world's easy here. I found some games. I went on my Facebook, Mr. McMurdo, 5th grade, and I posted like these games that are like practicing 1 digit by 1 digit multiplication, and I tried to make them fun. And so like one of them's a Pac-Man game where it like gives you the answer or gives you the problem at the bottom, and then you take your Pac-Man and you eat the correct answer for that problem, and then it goes to more levels, and it's kind of a little fun. I'm just saying. So I would like you to work on those.
There's also a reason.
We're going to start with a 2 digit by a 1 digit, and we're going through, you know, the 3 red cards. The first 4 problems are 2 digit by a 1 digit, right, Molly? Then the second 4 cards are 2 digit by 2 digit, and then the last 4 cards are 3 digit by 2 digit. So we're going to have examples of all of them. Write them down in your journal as we go through so you have these notes to refer back to. You can also watch my video again. Booyah. So let's look at the first one. First, I'm going to estimate. So, Molly, I'm going to make this 80. And I'm going to make this 7. It has a 0 in the ones place up here. I can just move that down. Then I do 8 times 7, which is what, Molly? $56. Good. So my answer should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 560.
Yes.
If my answer's in the neighborhood of 5,600, then I've probably made an error somewhere. So now Molly, 1 digit by 1 digit, every single time. Molly, 7 times 1.
7.
I only had to multiply 7 times 1. I'm not doing the whole thing. 81 times 7 all at once. 1 digit by 1 digit. So I have 7 ones. That means I don't have to change that in for any tens. Molly, 7 times 8. That means I have 56 tens. Or 5 hundreds and 6 tens. Pretty close to my estimate. But again, you need to realize all you did is multiply 1 digit by 1 digit. That's all multiplication is. No matter how many numbers are in a factor, all multiplication is multiplying 1 digit by 1 digit. If you think of it that way, instead of thinking it as many of you come, and then you go like, it's 3 digit by 2 digit. No, you're only doing 1 digit by 1 digit every single time. If this was the problem, 329, 504 times 637, I'm still multiplying 1 digit by 1 digit.
No.
I'm starting with, you don't know 7 times 4, and you don't know 7 times 0, and you don't know 7 times 5? Then you have a multiplication chart.
Okay, so
Good.
would you
I am still just multiplying 1 digit by 1 digit. Yes, you'd add a third row of factors, of product.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at the second one. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to estimate. Can't emphasize how important it is to estimate. So we have 36 multiplied by 19. So Shina, 36 is called a factor, 19 is called a factor, and I'm looking for the product, and I'm looking at it and going, oh my gosh! But I'm going to estimate first. So Shina, I'm just going to say that's 40 and that's 20. I've got 2 zeros there, so I just rewrite those two zeros there. Then I have 4 times 2, which is 8. So that gives me, Shina, that gives me an idea that my real product, my final answer, is this your final answer? Yes. Lock it in. That was a little bit of, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I feel like I
A. Okay. So my estimate. What's your final answer for your estimate? B. 800. You won.
I won $1 million.
Okay. So now, Shina. This is what I say to myself, Shina. Okay. I'm not gonna make you answer me, Shina. But this is how it works. You know, I've told you yesterday. Talk yourself through the problems. And sometimes, Molly, is he harassing you? Because sometimes when I'm talking myself through the problems, people think it's crazy to talk to yourself. So what I do is I talk to my great friend Kevin Bacon, who is the greatest actor ever. If you haven't seen the original movie Tremors, he's amazing in Tremors.
Okay.
So what I do is I talk to Kevin Bacon instead of just talking to myself, because people say you're crazy if you talk to yourself. I don't think you are, but some people do. Do you? No, I do. Okay, so I say to myself, I say to myself, not myself, I say to Kevin Bacon, I say, Kevin, and I call him Kevin because we're on a first name basis. I say, Kevin, what is my first step? And he says, Damon, and he calls me Damon because we're on a first name basis. He says, Damon, multiply your ones digit by your ones digit. So 9 times 6 is 54. And Kevin Bacon says, good job, Damon. He calls me Damon because we're on a first name basis. Then I multiply my ones digit times my tens digit. So 9 times 3 is 27 plus 5 is 32.
Yeah.
Okay, 32. So for those of you that are freaked out, all we've done so far is we've multiplied 9 times 6 and 9 times 3. That's the only multiplication we've had to do. So y'all can do one digit by one digit multiplication. Now we had to add 5. Oh my goodness, we had to add 5! That's fine, you can add 5. You guys can handle it. But we've only done one digit by one digit. And so then I say Kevin. And I call him Kevin because we're on a first name basis. I say, Kevin, I'm done with my ones place. I'm done with my ones place. What should I do next? And Kevin says, Damon, and he calls me Damon because we're on first name basis. He says, Damon, well, now you're multiplying in your tens place, so your next number needs to be in your tens place. So we're done with our ones place. Put something there so that we don't accidentally write something. It's not called a cookie. It's not called a donut. I'm putting the 0 here because we're multiplying by the tens place. What I'm actually doing is multiplying 36 times 10. That's what I'm actually doing. And then Kevin says, and I call him Kevin because we're on a first name basis. Kevin says to me, Damon, you can do 1 times 6 and 1 times 3, so I do it on my own here. And then I add these two products together, and I get 684. That's pretty close to my estimate, because I rounded up and I rounded up. So my...
Look at that. I got 684.
Good.
I got 708.
We already did 81 times 7.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. I got 794. Okay.
All right, little drummer boy, please stop.
I wasn't doing anything.
I didn't say anything. All right, so now we have the factors 53 and 46, and we need to find the product. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to estimate. I estimate before I solve the problem. If I don't estimate before I solve the problem, it's not called estimating. It's not called, when you're going to the grocery store and you only have so much money, you don't go, oh, I'm going to need 5.88 and go 2.739 and go and just keep adding it all together and then round it. No, you estimate as you go along so you make sure you don't spend more than you have. Because you don't want to get to the register and then go, no. Yeah, I probably need batteries because I don't have any electricity in my house. But put the batteries back. I'm having Dr. Pepper. We don't do that. We estimate first. So I'm just going to say 50 times 40, and that's going to be the 2 zeros come down. 5 times 4 is 20. So my answer needs to be somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000. Multiplying my ones place by my ones place. 6 times 3 is, boom, 18. 8, carry my 1. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus 1 is 31. Now I'm over to my tens place. I'm over to my So those of you that think this is difficult, all I've done is 6 times 3 and 6 times 1. Because I'm only multiplying one digit at a time. So you don't have to know what 43 times or 53 times 6 is right away. All you have to do is know what 6 times 3 is and 6 times 5 is and add whatever we had to carry over. So you're not multiplying more than one digit at a time. Use your multiplication chart. And then I'm in my tens place, so I gotta put that 0. 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1, 21, 8, 3, 4, 2.
Oh, I got that.
Okay? Piece of cake. Piece of cake. You should be able to walk out of here today saying, hey, dude, I can like multiply 2 digit by 2 digit really well because I'm like so smart. And Mr. McMurdo's like so good. And Elijah's like failing.
I have straight A's.
You had straight A's until you said psych.
I have straight A's.
Now, people, when you were doing the red cards, the ones that were most frequently missed are obviously the 3 digit by the 2 digit.
No.
These are basically the same thing. This is the most digits you're going to have in a multiplication problem. A factor with 3 digits and a factor with 2 digits this year in my class.
Okay.
In 5th grade, all I'm supposed to teach you is 3 digits by 2 digits. But basically, if you follow the process, then you can do 98 digits times 94 digits very easily.
No.
Okay? My estimate,
Very long time to write.
I'm going to say 200 times 80. I have these 3 zeros. I just move those straight down. You with me, Ethan?
Yep.
Then I do 8 times 2 is 16. So my answer should be in the area of 16,000. It's not going to be exactly 16,000, but in the area of 16,000. So then I'm starting with my ones place. My ones place is 3 times 2. I know that because I know my ones is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6.
Let's see if I got that.
Now where we mess up is we forget now we're multiplying actually by 80, not 8. Since we're multiplying by 80, I have to put that 0 in the ones place because I'm in the tens place. So that 0 takes care of me being in the tens place. Not because I want a cookie or a donut. I'm not moving that down here and writing it down. I don't care what your other teachers have said. You're putting the 0 down because you're multiplying by 80. 80. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry my 1. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. 8 times 2 is 16. And I get 6, and I get 9, and I get 15, and I get 7.
And 9.
17,596.
Yes, I got it right.
If you follow the steps. If you follow the steps. These red cards are going to be easy. Multiplying decimals is going to be easy. When we get to decimals, all you have to be able to do is this, and you have to be able to count. Probably no higher than 3.
1.
So if you can do this, and you can count to at least 3,
1, 2, 3.
Boom. Shakalaka. Peace out.
God bless.
God bless. Be kind.